Open sesame. It's time for the Sports Vault with Jersey Joe and Big Shot Rob.
Yeah, Joe, I think the Knicks are going to win the championship this year. They're going to beat the Heat.
Let me stop you right there, Rob. The Miami Heat will win the championship this year.
It's back-to-back titles for the Heat. The 2013 NBA championship resides once again in Miami.
The Madden cover winner in 2012 was Peyton Hillis.
Peyton who?
Running room with the ends. Peyton Hillis is loose. Sprint to the end zone. Touchdown.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have yet to win a game so far, Joe.
I think it's time to unleash Tim Tebow, Rob.
It definitely is.
Tebow looping to the left side. Tebow on the move. 10-yard line, 5-yard line. It's Tebow time.
Are you kidding me, Joe? Alex Rodriguez will make more than the entire Houston Astros roster this season?
I don't know what they're doing down there, Big Shot Rob.
That ball is high. It is far. It is good.
You can listen to the Sports Vault every Friday from 12:30 to 1:30 on WICR. Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, with my partner, Big Shot Rob. And we've got a blast from the past with Maral here with us today, too. She's back.
I'm guest host. Well, kind of. I'm a guest. Second time today. So I'm kind of happy. I'm glad to be back with you guys.
I know. We're glad to have you back, Maral. You know, me and Rob always talk about how you left us, but...
I'm sorry.
For another show. That's for another show, guys. But let's get right into it. Going over last night, the Seahawks beat the Cardinals 34-22. Seahawks with a pretty easy win. The Cardinals defense, though, don't count them out. They made a couple nice plays last night. And Carson Palmer, he just hasn't looked sharp. He really hasn't. I thought he was going to have a pretty nice year with the Cardinals, but he's turning the ball over too much. And feel bad for guys like Larry Fitzgerald because... they just need a quarterback in there. They really do, because they have a nice offense, but they just don't have anybody who can get them the balls. But let's go right into our NFL picks, and let's start it right off with the Buccaneers and the Falcons. Falcons are coming off a bye, and they've really struggled so far. The Buccaneers are just a mess right now. I'm going with the Falcons. They should get a win at home off their bye. Pretty easy win.
Yeah, there's an easy win for them, Joe. Greg Schiano has basically driven everybody crazy on that Buccaneers team. This team has no chemistry together. I dislike their quarterback whatsoever. They should have kept Freeman. Freeman's a decent quarterback. This Tampa team's just awful, so the Falcons are going for the win, especially in Atlanta.
I think the Bucs still have a lot to figure out. They're still working on a lot, so I think the Falcons definitely got it.
I mean, they're 0-5, and I think Schiano's on his way out. So, next game we got this is one of the tougher games of the weekend. You have the Bears and the Redskins. I kind of went back and forth on this game, but I've been pretty high on the Bears all year. I just don't trust that Redskins defense. Chicago's offense has really played well so far, so I'm going to go with the Bears in this one.
Yeah, you have to go with the Bears in this one, Joe. The Redskins have not been looking so great. Their defense is not good. RG3, if you've been noticing over the past couple weeks, has been holding on to that ball way too long, and that's why he's always getting sacked, especially with that key fumble late in that Dallas Cowboy game the other night. And yesterday on ESPN, they showed with RG3 that he tries to go out of bounds, tries to get people to tackle him out of bounds to try to get flags. So now we'll see if that play works against him this week.
Definitely. I know the key is going to be how much he can run and how effective he'll be doing it. So that should be an interesting game. I think it'll be a close one, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Chicago. The next one we have is the Cowboys and the Eagles. This is another one I kind of went back and forth on. I still don't trust the Cowboys. You never can when Tony Romo's your quarterback. Nick Foles, you know, I like their offense under him. I think he runs it pretty well. He throws the ball pretty accurately. I think the Eagles have a good chance here. They've strung off 2 wins in a row, so they're playing well right now. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys just because I still don't trust that Eagles defense. They give up way too many points. Dallas's offense is just working too well right now. I think their offense shouldn't struggle too much putting up points in this game.
You know what, Joe? For this one, I had the Cowboys for this, but I'm going to switch it to Philly. Overall, since Nick Foles has come up for this quarterback, taking over Michael Vick's job, he's looked great, and I think that he's going to do good versus this Dallas team. He played all right versus them last year, and I think this Eagles team could beat the Cowboys. It might be a hell of a lot of points going up in this game. Both defenses are terrible, absolutely terrible. But I like Philly in this one.
All right. The next one that we have is Rob, your New York Jets, and they got a tough one this weekend against the Patriots. Now, Rob, most people are taking the Patriots like me. Are you taking the Patriots, Rob?
You know what, Joe? I'm going with the Jets. You know me.
Yep, you
I'm
gotta
a
go
Jets
with the
fan
Jets.
too, but I
Morale?
have to be realistic.
Ooh.
Sadly, I think I'm going to go with the Patriots on this. Even though I'm a
Rob.
Jets fan, I'm going to go with the Patriots. I mean, you got to be realistic when it comes down to that.
The thing is with this game though, you have to go with the Jets. This is Smith's good week, Joe, because Smith starts off for week 1 good week, second week bad week, and then he goes good week bad week.
Oh, so
Likes those patterns of Geno Smith.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get an 8-8 record this year.
Maybe.
I think it's better than Sanchez, so I have to hand it to him. But I think Brady's got a little more experience, so I'm going to go with the Patriots. Sorry, guys.
Well, I think me and Morale are agreeing, and Big Shot Rob, he's still hoping the Jets can make the playoffs, so we'll give him that one.
I think they can make the playoffs too somehow, but come on, Rob, you got to be realistic.
All right, let's go to the Bills and the Dolphins. Another divisional game for that division. You have the Dolphins coming off their bye against the Bills, who don't have EJ Manuel right now. I think Miami coming off a bye should get a pretty easy win here.
Yeah, Dolphins getting the win. No EJ Manuel means an automatic win for the Dolphins, I believe, in my book. This Buffalo team does not have a good quarterback after him, and without him, their offense is not that great.
Miami, all the way.
Miami too, we're all agreed. Now, Rob, this is a tough one, Rob. It really is. The San Diego Chargers coming off a big win against the Colts on Monday night, and they're playing the 0-6 Jaguars, Rob. Who are you taking in this
Oh, man, the Jaguars are obviously not going to score any points in this one, so you have to go with the Chargers. No, Jacksonville's going to score in this game. Their wide receiver, Blackman's been looking good, but you have to go with the Chargers, Joe, in this one. I have to go with your team.
True, we tease about the Jaguars a lot, but they've actually showed a little bit of life the last couple weeks. They've definitely looked like they've had a little bit more fight. Justin Blackman's played very well, but Phillip Rivers has played very well this year as well, so I think the Chargers should definitely get another win here.
I think that Jacksonville's missing, players. They just need, a certain momentum to, really play really well.
Well, they need a quarterback first.
Obviously, so that's exactly. So they are missing players, but I have to go with the Chargers.
They could get Mark Sanchez in free agency next year.
Okay, Rob, enough with that.
I know, if Morale picked the Jaguars, we might have had to kick her off the show, Rob. I don't know.
The Jaguars, aren't they, vying for Tim Tebow to be quarterback?
Well, me and Rob are kind of rallying, pushing for the Jaguars to do it, but I don't know. They don't know what they're doing down there.
I hope so. I want Tim to get a job, so
we
hopefully
do too.
Timmy will get a job.
Hopefully. The next one we have is the Panthers and the Rams. Panthers, I can't figure this team out. I have been wrong on every game they've been in this year. I don't know what to expect. Their offense one week looks terrible. They looked a little bit better last week. I'm going to go with them only because they're a 6.5-point favorite. They're home. I don't trust the Rams. I don't know. I just can't figure out this Carolina team, though, but I'll pick them to win.
I'm going to go Carolina, too, with this one. Last week, Cam Newton did have a great game with 3 touchdown passes. The team looked like they're back to normal. This Rams team, they're coming off a big win versus the Texans, but that Texans team is not good. Matt Schaub, he hasn't been that great quarterback. But I'm going to go Carolina, the home team in this one.
Cool. The next one, Rob, is a pretty interesting one. You have the Lions at home against the Bengals. Both these teams have been very similar this year. They've looked really good one week, and they haven't been able to be consistent week on week. They've really struggled the week after a win. So both teams got a win last week. So I don't know what that's going to mean. It could be a sloppy game, or they could both bring their best games. Calvin Johnson's back. He's a little bit healthier. I'm going to go with the Lions here at home. I think getting Calvin Johnson back is going to help. I just don't like what I've seen from Cincinnati's offense, so I'm going to go with the Lions in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit in this one too, Joe. I overall feel Detroit's overall offense is more explosive than Cincinnati's. They have a better running game. Their receiving is just about great. A.J. Green and Calvin Johnson. I do like the way Detroit's defense has been playing too, but you got to go with Detroit in this one.
I think this game is going to be really frustrating, and it's going to be sloppy, but I'm going to go with the Lions as well.
Good. Again, Morale, if you picked against my Lions, I might have had to kick you out of the room.
Sorry.
So I'm glad that you're on board with both my teams. The next one is the Titans and the 49ers. Not much here. Titans definitely. I think they've definitely looked a lot better than I thought before the season. They've definitely played pretty well. Chris Johnson's just been terrible, though. He really has struggled this year. And you're not running the ball that well against that 49ers defense. I think San Fran should get a win on the road here.
Yeah, San Fran, you definitely got to go with them. One of the top defenses in the NFL. I was listening to ESPN yesterday. Chris Johnson has no rushing touchdowns this year, and they're considering him one of the biggest flops for fantasy this year. And that Titans team, they still don't have Jake Locker. He's out with that injury. So I think San Fran will definitely win this.
In my opinion, you can never go wrong with Colin Kaepernick, so I have to go with the 49ers.
Well, he's ruining my fantasy team morale this year, so I don't know, maybe you can do something about that and go talk to Colin
I don't know.
about
I'll
it.
tweet him and see what
Tweet
I can
him
do.
and see what you can do.
I'm sure that he'll pay attention to me.
The next one is the Chiefs taking on the Texans, and the Texans are just a mess right now. Matt Schaub is out, TJ Yates is out, so they're playing a third-string quarterback. I don't know. Kansas City's just played extremely well this year. They're at home. Texans, you don't know what you're going to see from them on offense, so I would pick the Chiefs pretty easily here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, too. I actually feel bad for this Texans quarterback this week. You know that Chiefs defense, Joe. They're going to be all over him.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, first game. He's been out these past couple of weeks, so they're going to be all over him. However, though, I would like to see the matchup with J.J. Watt versus Alex Smith if he goes all out after him that game.
All my exes live in Texas, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right, we are all agreed on that one once again. And this one is another tough one. It really is. The Ravens and the Steelers. Steelers had a bye. They came back. Sorry, Rob. They beat your Jets last week. I know that was tough to watch. But Pittsburgh, they definitely, I don't know. Baltimore hasn't played very well on the road this year. They really haven't. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in this one. I've seen some people taking Baltimore, but I don't know why I like Pittsburgh in this one.
I'm going to go with Baltimore for this one, Joe. Pittsburgh is coming off a big win versus the Jets. They really needed this win, but they didn't impress me in that win. I wasn't really impressed that whole first half. I thought the Jets' defense played great. But I'm going to go with Baltimore. I feel like they finally come together as a team. Ray Rice is doing great. Joe Flacco's doing his usual thing, and I feel like they're going to beat the Pittsburgh.
Don't kick me out, but I'm going to have to agree with Rob. I think Joe Flacco and with Ray Rice, they're a good combination. They're going to really come out in this game.
All right, yeah, the run has definitely been struggle for Baltimore so far. They're really not running the ball too well, but it should be a tough game. You know how those Pittsburgh Raven games always are. It's going to be a pound game, very tough, but we'll see. In the next one, you have the Packers and the Browns. This isn't too tough one. Packers are coming off a big win against Baltimore on the road. They've looked very good at home this year. They should win this game pretty easily.
Yeah, Packers have this one. This Cleveland team has Brandon Weeden at quarterback. He's not doing a great job so far, but Aaron Rodgers is very explosive this year. However, it's going to be hard in this game because, Randall Cobb did go down with that broken leg injury.
Yeah, that was a huge injury. It really was.
So it's really hard to choose actually right now because that's Rodgers' biggest wide receiver. But I'm going to stick with Green Bay.
Me too. James Jones is banged up too, which really hurts. And Cleveland has a pretty good secondary. But, Aaron Rodgers is just too talented, I think. I think you're going to have to put up points to beat this team, and I just don't have faith in Brandon Weeden to do that. So that's why I'm going to go with the Packers. The feature game, though, man, what a game this is. Peyton Manning going back to Indianapolis to play the old Colts. Andrew Luck coming off a tough loss to the Chargers. This is going to be a really, really good game. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm going to go with Denver. I just think the Colts defense the last few weeks hasn't looked great. I think they'll come up and they'll play a tough game, but I think the Broncos are just playing too well right now to pick against them.
Yeah, I'm going with Denver too, Joe. With the Colts owner's remarks about Manning this week,
we'll get to that.
That really has to have pumped him up, so he's definitely going for the kill in there now. So I'm going with the Broncos.
I'm going with the Broncos too. I think Manning and Eric Decker play really well together, so I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Well, he's got a lot of people to throw the ball to, but Eric Decker I know is your favorite.
Yes, he is my favorite.
The next one we have is the Giants and the Vikings. The Sports Vault, we will be on the field for this game covering it, so check out our Twitter page and I'll put some pictures up on the field from that game. But the Giants, they've really, 0-6, they've just been a disaster. The Vikings are starting Josh Freeman, so I don't know if that's going to mean it's going to be a struggle for him. I don't know how he's going to pick up the playbook that quickly. I'm going to go with the Giants in this one, but you never know with the Big Blue. They've just looked so bad, so inconsistent. The Vikings have played very well against them in the last couple of seasons, so the Vikings have a shot here, but I think you just got to give a little edge to Big Blue for being home.
I'm going to go Minnesota with this one, Joe. I think Josh Freeman now is actually with a pretty decent team. He's just going to be understanding the plays coming up this week. But I think he has a decent team. He has Greg Jennings, Adrian Peterson, so he should fit well with this offense. This Giants team has not impressed me. They're struggling. They really don't know what they're doing over there. So I'm not going with them. However, in this game, I have to say, if Eli Manning gets to the point where he throws 2 picks, I would bench him and put Curtis Painter in the game.
Whoa, okay.
You know what
Rob,
I realized?
That was just one of the most insane things I've ever heard, Rob. I hope that you're joking over there.
Honestly,
Put in Curtis
no
Painter.
beef, no beef. But honestly, I feel like New York, it's like Jets one year and then the Giants one year. It's like they go on and off between which year is good and which year is bad. This year is definitely like a New York Jets year, but the Giants, I mean, they gotta work out whatever they've got going on.
Well, I know I'm talking to 2 Jet fans right here, but I think the last time I checked, Super Bowls are what kind of matter, and I think the Giants have 2 of those.
But this
the last
year, the
3 years.
performance has been so like outrageous. Come on.
It has.
You have to
It has.
admit
0-6 has been
I don't
terrible.
know what's going on with that. It's 0-6, so I think that record speaks for itself.
And there has been some people calling to bench Eli, but I don't know, Rob. Could you really say, how could you bench a guy who's won 2 Super Bowls in the last seasons? How could you do that?
I know, but it's like, it comes to the point, yes, I know his offensive line is bad, but some passes are just terrible he's been throwing. And I'm not saying bench him just for games to come. I would just say bench him a quarter. This way, just get a message across to him.
That's the thing is, like, I don't
he
know.
needs to learn his lesson.
I think there's no way I would ever in my entire life bench Eli Manning for Curtis Painter. Have you guys seen Curtis Painter play? He should have become a painter because he can't play football very well. He's terrible. I mean, he might be one of the worst backups I've seen. So, I don't know. We could spend a long time on this, but don't bench Eli, please. Please, Tom, don't do it. But let's get into it. We have a lot of stuff for our NFL, but some of the big news this week was the Thursday night expansion idea, and a lot of players were speaking out against this because they say as the week goes on, players don't really start to feel well they don't start to recover until Thursday or Friday. And when they have to play those games, it really takes a big toll on their bodies, and 2 of those games will just be too much to handle. So, Rob, I'll go to you. Do you think that it's a good idea?
No, I don't think it's good to expand games on Thursday nights. Bad enough, I really don't even like the idea of Thursday night football. Because basically, you have 3 days to practice, to get to this place, to travel to, and then you got to play. And some guys, you know, they're coming off injuries, who got hit hard, who's sore everywhere. So, you know what, I really don't like this Thursday night expansion.
I have to agree with Rob. I mean, they don't have enough time to practice, and who really wants to watch football on a Thursday night? I mean, there's so many. I mean,
don't go there,
it's
bro.
like nights, whatever, Saturday nights, but Thursday nights are so, it's like in the middle of the week, you know what I mean? Everyone's just like wrapping up, and I feel like in terms of performance, I think they do better if they don't play on a Thursday night.
See,
They get more time to practice.
I think the one game is good. As the season goes on, you have basketball, hockey. You have so many sports on that day that you got so much to watch as it is, and I don't know. I think you're good with the one game you have. I mean, it's not like you're putting great games on Thursday night anyway. They're good. I'll always take more football, but they're not the best premier games anyway, so I think you should just leave it the way it is. But let's get to the next big thing this week was Jim Irsay's comments, and we're going to title it, Were They Comments Out of Line? If you didn't hear them, he was saying we've changed our model quite a bit because we wanted more of one of these. He held up the Super Bowl ring, and a lot of people interpreted this as a shot to Peyton Manning. I did as well. But, Rob, you saw the comments. Do you think that he was out of line?
Oh, yeah, that was totally out of line. I don't think the reporters took what he said out of context. I think he really said that. And you know what? It was pretty rude, especially with your team never won a Super Bowl. With this quarterback, he won you a Super Bowl. Probably changed the whole Colts organization with what he's done over the years. And you know what? He was, a rookie year. He struggled that rookie year, went 2-14. The following year came up 13-3. He was won divisions for this team, always in the playoffs every year. So you know what? It's out of context, and I hope Peyton Manning comes into this game all fired up and destroys his team now.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I think it was unnecessary what he said, but what he said, there is some truth to it. No, Peyton Manning has not played extremely well in the playoffs. He's 9-11, and I have his stats from the year they won the Super Bowl this year. They're not jaw-dropping. I mean, first they beat Kansas City 23-8. He had 1 touchdown and 3 picks in that game. They beat Baltimore the next game. He had 0 touchdowns and 2 picks. The following game they beat New England, and he threw 1 touchdown and 1 pick. And in the Super Bowl against the Bears, he threw a touchdown and a pick. Not great numbers. I mean, you can't argue. Peyton Manning's one of the best of all time. I'd take him any day of the week. But it's true, he just hasn't played as well in the playoffs. But I don't know, it was not necessary to say. He gave you a Super Bowl ring. That's not too bad. Let's go to our last thing for football, though. Rob, you know Ndamukong Suh. There's been a lot said about him, and a lot of people after the latest fine this week are saying that he's the supervillain of the NFL. This is the second time he's been fined this season, 7th time of his career, and he's also had a 2-game suspension. So, Rob, isn't Ndamukong Suh the NFL's supervillain?
Yeah, he definitely is. He created this name all by himself. Over the years, we've seen it, Joe, since he came in as a rookie. You know, he's a dirty player. That's why he's always getting fined. I mean, remember on Thanksgiving when he actually stepped on a player with cleats?
Yep.
I mean...
Oh, I saw that. That must have hurt.
Yeah. But it's like, he definitely deserves supervillain of the league, definitely.
I mean, here's the thing, too, is did you see the play that he got fined for Brandon Weeden?
No, I didn't see that play.
I mean, it wasn't egregious, but he's got the reputation now. I mean, you look at that rap sheet, and you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt on things like that. And I'm a Lions fan, but you have to agree, he is a dirty player. He really is. There's some plays you just look and you don't like what you see. You never want to see a guy play like that. But Rob's right. He's earned that title of the NFL supervillain. You have a rap sheet like that this early into your career, and you're never going to get the benefit of the doubt, and the league's going to be looking to punch you for things like that.
I don't think you're going to survive in the league if you play like that. I think sportsmanship is going to get you really far.
It is, and you know, there's going to be a point where players on the other opposing team are going to just have enough of it, and they're going to go after Sue too. So you don't know what you're going to see.
Isn't the coach fed up? Like, if I was the coach, I'd be really fed up.
Well, I don't know. Schwartz, he's an interesting kind of guy. We don't know. He might not be with the Lions. I mean, the Lions are playing well so far this year, but if they start to teeter off a little bit, I think he could be on his way out the door. I don't know. Hopefully, Ndamukong Suh will clean up his act eventually, but as of right now, he's just not. And that's going to do it for our football segment. We're going to come back. So much to talk about. Such a big week for basketball. So much to say, especially about my man LeBron James. We will be back in a second.